It's just a man. What the bird is barbecuing.
G'day, you filthy jabronis. My glasses aren't even on. It's not battle time yet until the glasses are on. I have my headband on too. I'm ready. I'm primed. My name is TheVerd. I am your coach of the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. Now, Tampa Bay Frogadiers this season, we have gone 13-1. We were up against the Oregon Duckletts in the grand finale, the championship match. They went 10-4. They had a hell of a playoffs run. They had to go through every single playoff stage to get to here. My team's kind of lit. You already know that. Let's just jump in. My team, as you know, is a Cress, Mega Absol, Nidoqueen, Tangrowth, Skarm, and Hitmontop. Let's see what Johnny brought. This is going to be interesting. I'm nervous. This is my first championship for quite a while, so I'm a little bit nervous. What did he bring? He doesn't bring Drill. That's great. He does bring Magneton. That's cool. Brings Magneton. Zelf, I believe I saw P2. Klefki, which is fine. Brings Tyranitar. And he brings Druddigon. Druddigon's a problem, but it's okay. So he didn't bring Slowbro. What's really good about that is it means that my Hitmontop is really strong against this team, offensively speaking. The other thing as well, like I said, is because he didn't bring because he didn't bring what's its name. I'm gonna move my crush card over to here just so it's in a bit of a straighter spot. Yep, cool. Because he didn't bring Drill, I can go for those turn 1 hazards if I would like to. And if he leads Klefki, we can obviously just flamethrower that. So we're going to jump in. Johnny, best of luck. Let's just analyze this team a little bit more. So Druddigon, I said, is a problem that I definitely need to watch out for. Magneton's not too bad. Skarm, with the set that I have, has the potential to actually sweep his entire team. I mean, if I can weaken P2. My computer internet, for some reason, is not working too great. So you'll see me going over here, kind of like that direction, because I have my iPad here for calcs. So he's going to leave with Druddigon. That's fine. Druddigon's going to be his lead of choice. I'm going to leave with China. We may trade hazards here, which is fine. If he does choose to attack, do I want to get brought down to my sash this early? Mold Breaker, which means he's not the defensive set. He's definitely an aggressive set. So I could go for the turn 1 Earth Power and weaken a serious threat to my team, which is definitely a good option, I think. I'm just going to quickly see, like, I think he would run an aggressive Druddigon. If I was Johnny, I'd probably run an aggressive Druddigon here. Like an all-out attacker Druddigon seems like his best option. But my Nidoqueen can take that on. I think as much as like Toxic Spikes would be really nice against this team, I think Earth Power here is probably my better play. Obviously I don't have Ice Beam. My best move to hit this thing with would be Earth Power. So I need to keep that in mind. If it just let me, this is a bit tougher on my iPad to do all this, guys. Hopefully it pops up with Nidoqueen now. It certainly does. Okay, so we aren't modest, I don't believe. Actually, I can't remember. I don't think we're modest. No, we're not. We're timid. I remember now. We had to speed creep Magneton. So I'm looking at timid Earth Power to an all-out attacker Druddigon. If he is running max HP, we're not actually doing that much to him. How much time do I have, by the way? Okay, I got time. So I could go straight into Hitmontop, obviously. Outrage will do a lot, but Earth Power will do about half, and so I think my play is to go for the Earth Power here to get off as much damage on this Druddigon turn 1 as I can. He's going to withdraw, I assume, out to Porygon? Yeah, out to Porygon, okay. That's fine. We should be able to get off a decent amount of damage. He's going to trace that Sheer Force, which is a little bit scary, actually, now that I think about it. We are going to fire off the Earth Power real quick, as he is a fully specially defensive Porygon. Now, what I can do here is get up some T-Spikes, and I think T-Spikes could be really nice for my team. The only issue with T-Spikes is it means that my Cress will not be able to paralyze the Tyranitar. So potentially I could just go for Stealth Rocks here. I have my Sash so I can take the hit. At the same time, I do have a very good switch in here in my Hitmontop. So I think I'm going to go out to my Hitmontop here. I am Assault Vest. I can take on pretty much anything he throws. A Tri-Attack would hurt a little bit, but it won't hurt too badly, I don't think. So I'm just going to go out to Booker T. I don't really need Booker T to deal with a lot else on his team. Intimidate obviously isn't really going to matter too much. As he's going to Ice Beam, that should do absolutely nothing to me because I am Assault Vest. Even though he has the Sheer Force boost, that's going to do diddly squat. Doesn't freeze me, which is fantastic. So Porygon's taken some damage. I'm looking at his team for a good switch into a close combat, and I'm not really seeing one at all. So I am just going to go straight for that close combat. Even if he stays in, I'm going to get it for a really good chunk, and weakening this P2 is really important for me in the course of this battle. He is going to withdraw. If he goes back out to Druddigon, that's an interesting play for sure. He goes out to Klefki. So I'm assuming he's a physically defensive Klefki. Makes the most sense. I'm just going to fire off the CC. Oh my lord, that does a lot. Okay. So that's interesting. If I had EQ, potentially could have taken him out from here, but I'm not going to take any risks. I think my play is Nidoqueen, just because even if he sets up hazards, I can spin him away with Hitmontop later. And this gives me an opportunity to get up my Stealth Rocks potentially, and I can take the Fairy hit. Yeah, I'll lose my Sash in the process, but it's definitely better for me in the long term to make this play. As you could also potentially just go for the T-Wave here to be annoying, or you could go for Spikes. So either way, I get a Nidoqueen with Sash intact, and that's really important, so I can start. I think I will go for T-Spikes. Honestly, looking at matchup, T-Spikes are really important for me. It can really wear down his team, so I'm definitely going to go for that. He could make a play of Magnet Rising here. Definitely. Could be an option for him. I think he may be calcing to see whether Dazzling Gleam can kill me from here if he has it. I don't expect him to have Play Rough. I think Dazzling Gleam would be the better move for Klefki to run in this matchup. I don't know. So the way I'm seeing things though is I can get at least rocks as well. I can break a potential Magneton Sturdy. So that's why I want to go hard into Nidoqueen here, because I know I can get up at least one layer of T-Spikes, and that's going to be really good for me in the long term. So I'm going to go into Nidoqueen. Does he go for the D-Gleam? Actually goes for Flash Cannon. That shouldn't do too much unless he's an offensive Klefki, which I don't think he is. That does negligible damage, which is totally fine. He could go for the potential Magna Rise, but he also knows that I could be packing... I'm going to go for T-Spikes here. I could go for Rocks to break Magneton. I probably should have gone for Rocks there. If he goes up to P2, definitely could have gone for Rocks for sure. Could have been a play. My Discord might be going off, so I'm just going to quickly mute that. As I'm going to get the T-Spike. Hitmontop again is looking like a really good switch into P2, because I can just take any hit and fire off a CC. And I like that, but also my switch into Hitmontop here is really obvious. That's why I kind of want to go for my Stealth Rocks, because I could probably take a hit from Porygon. The question is, yeah, I feel pretty confident against Klefki right now. A lot of my team can hit Klefki very, very hard, so I'm actually going to go for my Stealth Rocks here. I think getting him up now is really important for me, as he could Ice Beam, and that may potentially take me out because of the Sheer Force boost, but I think he's going to try and predict me to go into my Hitmontop again. Yeah, he does go for the Tri-Attack. That shouldn't do too much damage to Nidoqueen. Should be able to take that just fine, as I do. And what I can do now, if I would like to, is go for my final layer of T-Spikes, but I don't think that's a good play for me right now. I can switch back in on Klefki and get off a Flamethrower, and then, you know, I could still do stuff with Nidoqueen. I think it's still an important member to my team, so I am going to go, actually, potentially, I think I have to Tangrowth here. Looks really nice, because I can go for that knockoff play. That's really good against him. My dog wants to go outside, so I think he won't go for Ice Beam. I think he can just go for another Tri-Attack. Even if he does Ice Beam, I'm not really too worried about it. It shouldn't do too much to an AV Tangrowth, regardless. And what I can do here, yeah, that's fine. I can eat this up just fine. Not a big deal. I am Assault Vest. That does way more than it should have, because I'm thinking he didn't even crit me. Why did that do so much? I am Assault Vest, right? Yeah, I'm Assault Vest. Okay, that did way more than I thought it would. I'm just going to go out to Hitmontop here. I didn't really need a risk Tangrowth like that. I just figured maybe go for the Tri-Attack, but Tri-Attack still would have done the same. I guess I just go out to Hitmontop here. At this point, because Rocks and T-Spikes are up, Hitmontop can basically destroy something on his team with close combat, which is really, really nice. I went into Tangrowth, guys, because I figured I could take the Ice Beam a lot better than that, but I'm obviously not taking it as well as I was hoping I would, which is unfortunate. But my play is definitely Hitmontop here. I think he will go for the Tri-Attack, but I know, judging on the Ice Beam damage, that Hitmontop should be able to take it just fine. Although Tri-Attack will get the Sheer Force boost, I should be able to take two of them. I also should be able to outspeed the Porygon, and if I can get off that close combat against Porygon, that puts us in a really strong spot. This should have been my initial play. I don't know why I didn't do this initially, but that was silly on my part. The only thing that would really ruin this is a freeze. Hopefully it doesn't get it. Thank God it's not like the J-Specs game. What I can do here is just go straight for the close combat, really. At this point, it weakens P2, which is probably the biggest annoyance on his team to me. So I'm just going to fire for CC. Like, I don't really lose much from doing this. I don't know if P2 would live, but the thing is, even if he goes into Klefki, Like, I can pretty much just kill that thing from here, so I'm not really too worried at all. He will go back into Klefki, which is fine. He's going to take a ton from close combat, plus the rocks here, which is a huge factor. So close combat's going to go off against Klefki, and it's almost going to knock him out. Now, I don't know how Prankster is going to activate here, as to whether it's going to be... Does Prankster outspeed my Muck Punch? It would depend on how fast his Klefki is, how fast Klefki is in general. Klefki in general, what speed do you hit? 75, he probably outspeeds me, but I'm going to go for the Muck Punch because I think judging on the close combat damage, it should knock him out. On the off chance he wants to go for that Flash Cannon, we can just knock him out right here with the Muck Punch, hopefully. And we do! Awesome! So that's a fantastic start for the Tampa Bay Frogadiers in this final. Klefki gets up no hazards, and he is dealing with Toxic Spikes and Rocks already on the field. So, he goes into a Zelf, which is fine. Klefki dies to him on top. That's all he needs to know. I'm not going to talk about the moves because obviously it doesn't really matter as much this in the game. I could have Sucker Punch, but I mean my play is definitely just going into Crest here. I don't really lose much from doing it. If he Nasty Plots up, we can fire off a T-Wave, and that's really nice for us. If he has Nasty Plot and Taunt, there's no way he runs Nasty Plot and Taunt. But if I can get that T-Wave off, then I can just revenge quite easily with Absol. Absol also looks very strong now that Klefki is gone. It is a very big win con for me because Magneton's the really only thing in the way. Also, if I weaken P2, guys, like I said, it really opens the door for my Skarmory to actually set up a Tailwind and potentially just win. It's called Gobbledygoo, by the way, because the person who gemmed this for me was doing it in Generation 7. And so, well, in the new PHX, which doesn't let you do that many characters, so it's Gobbledygoo instead of Gobbledygook, doesn't fit as many anymore. Because he's Life Orb and he knows that I'm a Crest, I don't see him staying in. If he does, he would go for the Shadow Ball. So I'm going to go hard into Absol here because I think his play may be going into T-Tar and I can deal with that just fine with Absol. So I'm going to go hard into Absol. As he will withdraw, I fully assume out to Tyranitar here. He actually chooses P2, which is totally fine because you're going to Trace Levitate, which I don't care about. You're going to get Poisoned and take Stealth Rocks, and you're going to allow my Absol to get a free Mega Evolution off. And at this point, I'm looking at his team, and there's no switch-in for knockoff, guys. There is 0 switch-ins for knockoff. Absol is basically going to get a kill right now, because if he switches into T-Tar, I can knock off any item that he has and follow it up with a superpower. So basically, I'm going to be able to get a kill with Absol right here, right now, because P2 is obviously specially defensive, so he's not going to be able to take this this superpower. So we are going to Mega up. We're going to fire off that knockoff, and somebody's going to die. Is it going to be his P2? I don't know. He may choose to preserve this. He may try and go for Recover, hoping he can take a hit, but I think he knows that he's a bit boned here. Losing his Klefki was massive. He is going to, I believe, sack off the P2. I would assume that because of the way that he took Earth Power from Nidoqueen, that he is a specially defensive Porygon too, so he's not going to be able to take this knockoff right now. Let's see. We're going to go for that knockoff, and he will live. Does he go for the Recover? He chooses to go for Tri-Attack, which is, you know, fine. I can take that just fine. Not a big deal. Doesn't get any kind of hacks against me as well, which is really nice. He is not going to die to hazards, but basically at this point he's going to die regardless. I'm just going to fire off another knockoff. There's no reason not to. And Porygon's going to go down, so that's awesome. So his 2 biggest walls are gone. So P2 dies to Mega Absol. And we currently, ladies and gentlemen, have a 4-6 lead. 6-4 lead. That's great. I see the next Pokemon coming in being potentially Tyranitar, for sure. If it is T-Tar, I assume it's going to be Scarf. But then again, does Scarf T-Tar even outspeed me? Does Scarf T-Tar outspeed? Mega... Goes into Druddigon. How do I want to play around this thing? I think I might just go into Hitmontop, potentially. Okay, I'm trying to think of if I still kind of want Hitmontop for other things, though. So there is potential for me to go into Tangrowth here to kind of suss what he wants to do. T-Tar is still in the back. I don't want to risk... I don't want to risk a lot of things here. So Tangrowth is still nice because I can take a hit from a Zelf, T-Tar, Magneton, kill them all. So I'm actually going to go into Crest, because Crest really is the most expendable mon on my team right now. So it's the thing that I'm okay with dying. What I'm going to look up right now, guys, is actually Absol itself. What does he go for with Druddigon here? He goes for Fire Punch, so we can take that just fine. That is all good. That's going to do nothing. What I'm going to do here is actually fire off a Reflect for when the T-Tar comes in, then I can double out to my Hitmontop, and again, basically get a kill. So, Mega Absol's there. I'm just going to look up Scarf T-Tar. I think it will outspeed me at level 50. Anyway, I'm going to fire off the Reflect because I don't think Druddigon can really touch me. And I think if he goes into T-Tar, what this will... Okay, the reason why I'm going for Reflect, guys, is if he goes into T-Tar and tries to Pursuit Trap me, this is going to allow me to basically shut that down, as he does go into T-Tar. Cool. So we're going to look at a level 50. So I'm pretty happy with where we are right now. I think, barring anything ridiculous, we should have this wrapped up now. But, okay, so level 50 T-Tar is going to get 62 added on, so he will outspeed. If he's Scarf T-Tar, he will outspeed. I haven't seen any form recovery, so I did get my Reflect up, which means that I should be able to quite freely switch out here, not really worry about the Pursuit, and what I can do, as I said, is go straight into my Hitmontop. It can take any hit from this T-Tar, both of its stabs it resists. If he goes for Pursuit, I don't care. If he goes for D-Dance, I also don't really care, because I can obviously just go for Mark Punch to weaken it anyway, and I have Sturdy on Skarmory if I really need to use it. So I'm in a pretty good spot here. Even if he D-Dances, I believe I can just take a hit regardless. He goes for Crunch under Reflect. This is going to do diddly squat to me. As you're going to see, that does absolutely nothing. Hitmontop swallows that. So his T-Tar is getting weakened. I don't know. It could be Scarf damage from the looks of it, but I can just fire off a Close Combat here. Again, like, he's switching as a Zelf, which is obviously not going to be ideal for him. So I'm just going to go for Close Combat. He's going to withdraw. If he goes into a Zelf, he takes a ton of damage, which isn't ideal for him. He is going to go Druddigon. This may potentially drop to this combo because I am adamant Hitmontop. I'm not 100% sure, though. We'll have to wait and see. We're going to go for that Close Combat, though, and just see how much it does to Druddigon, as he won't drop. But at this point, because the Reflect, I believe, is... he has Rocky Helmet, but he's Mold Breaker. That's an interesting combo. I don't want to risk anything here, so what I'm going to do is actually double back into my Cresselia, because I can keep Hitmontop around for Mark Punch purposes. Still think that's a pretty good idea for me. I can just go back out to my Cress here, which is a pretty safe in general against Druddigon. I believe he's just going to go for like an Outrage here as a last hurrah. He actually goes for Rocks. It's a really nice play on Johnny's part, knowing he was going to die. I could have... there was no point for me to stay in there, I don't think, because I could have Mark Punch, but at the same time, because I was -1 defense, I mean, even though Reflect up, I didn't want to risk losing Hitmontop there, as a Druddigon will die to Toxic Spikes. So, all that is left now on his team... That's another kill for Nidoqueen. I'm just going to leave that as a little thing from Nido. So all that's left on his team now is Magneton, Azelf, and Tyranitar. If T-Tar comes in, I may just stay at an HP... Okay, if Magneton's coming in now, my play, I believe, is to just Hidden Power fighting him. I want to get off as much damage as I can on this Magneton. I could go out to Nidoqueen, but on the off chance he subs, I can't allow him to get up those subs. So I am just going to go for the Hidden Power fighting. Because I am specially defensive Cress, I should be able to take on most forms of Magneton. If he goes for a Volt Switch here, that's also ideal, because he may go out to T-Tar. He actually chooses to go for Flash Cannon. We'll be able to kind of gauge what kind of Magneton he is here. That doesn't do that much at all. We're going to be able to go for Hidden Power. It's Hidden Power fighting. I don't know if he knows that. It does a very good chunk for us, though, which is great. It puts us in a very strong position here, because at this point, like, I have Moonlight on deck to deal with Magneton. Our Reflect wears off, which I don't mind, because at this point I can just keep on spamming Hidden Power fighting. I'm not going to try and beat around the bush here, guys. I think we can pretty much just... we won't clean up with Cress, but at this point he has to go into a Zelf if he wants to be able to deal with us. Yep, which is fine. Like, this is absolutely fine. As a Zelf is going to come in, take those Stealth Rocks, which is cool. I'm going to be able to go for that Hidden Power fighting. He may think it was Hidden Power Ground, but it's Hidden Power fighting. He's going to be able to take that, but the thing is now, I can take the Life Orb Shadow Ball, and my play here is just a Thunder Wave, because if I Thunder Wave as Elf, it's pretty much just Signed, Sealed, Delivered. So I'm just going to go for that Thunder Wave. I don't think he's going to double into T-Tar. It could be a really nice play on his part, but I don't see it happening. He's going to try and Nasty Plot off of me. Not today. Not today, Johnny. I'm not trying to choke this game away anytime soon. I'm going to T-Wave here. I saw that you have Life Orb, so this is not really too detrimental for me. I'm going to be able to paralyze him up right there. I'm going to keep Cress around because it does deal with that Magneton quite nicely. So what I want to do here is I think just go into my Tangrowth, because I think it is the most expendable member. I think that T-Tar will be able to take it out regardless. Hitmontop is more important. So I'm just going to get to Tangrowth, and he may get fully parried. I think he'll just go for the Shadow Ball. I don't know if I'll be able to take a Shadow Ball, because I took a ton from P2 just going for an Ice Beam. But you never know, we might be able to... He actually has Flamethrower. I think we should die to this because it's +2. As we do, that's fine. We lose a Pokemon, but that's okay. So... Did I just run out of ink? Come on. Not today. I have another pen. It's fine. What I just do here, guys, though, is I go into Absol and I Pursuit Trap and kill his Azelf, and then we pretty much, I think, have it wrapped. So... Tangrowth dies to Azelf, but at this point what we can just do with Absol is go for the Pursuit, and that will definitely knock out this Azelf here. He may try and preserve it because it can technically 1v1 the Crest, which is why I'm going for Pursuit. This should just kill regardless because he's into Azelf. It should just drop as it does. Like, I knew it was going to drop regardless. So, Azelf dies to Mega Absol. He goes back into Magneton. Now, I know Magneton can outspeed me if he is that Scarf set. So, what do I feel like going into here? Crest seems pretty safe, because I can just spam HP Fighting now. There's not really much I can do about it, and I have Hidden... Yeah, I can just spam Hidden Power Fighting from here. It's fine. I have no reason to risk my Absol, because I could Sucker Punch him from here, but I'd rather just weaken him to the point where I can just easily Sucker Punch and kill him. Which is just going for 1 more HP Fighting, basically. Just seals the deal for me, doing it that way. He actually goes for Signal Beam, which is really good play on Johnny's part. But it's not going to do that much to Crest, because the special defense is really... He gets a crit there, which is kind of wild. I could go for the Moonlight here, guys, but honestly, I think at this point, Hitmontop has the game won anyway, so what I'm going to do is just go for that Hidden Power Fighting. I have no reason not to. I know that Crest might go down here, which is fine if it does. Like, Crest has done what it needed to do. Hopefully it doesn't confuse me. He does not, as we can just fire off that Hidden Power Fighting. And, ooh, did we just get crit? No, we didn't. But at this point, I believe Hitmontop has the game won. So I'm actually quite happy sacking off my Cresselia here to Magneton. What I may just do is I could potentially go for Reflect against T-Tar if I really want to do that. But I think because I have Sturdy, I don't have Sturdy on Skarmory, but I think Skarmory can outspeed. Like, I don't think Scarf T-Tar beats me from here because I have, yeah, if he was Chople T-Tar, he loses to Absol regardless. So I am just going to go for another Hidden Power Fighting. I think I can actually live another Signal Beam from Magneton here. I could have gone for Moonlight and stalled this out, but I have no reason to, guys. Like, I really have no reason to. I'm just going to go for Hidden Power Fighting and knock out his Magneton. Yeah. So, all that is left on his side is a Tyranitar. I still have 5 Mons. I'm going to sack off Crest here. I'm just going to go for the HP Fighting because it puts him in range of Mach Punch anyway. He's already in range of Mach Punch, I believe, guys, because I don't think... He's actually Unnerved, not Sandstream. I didn't even realize that going into it. He could potentially have no speed investment, so I might actually outspeed him here with the HP Fighting, which would be kind of crazy. I think he would have speed investment. He could be Scarfed. He actually chooses to go for Stone Edge, even though I have a Hitmontop in the back, so that's fine. So Cresselia dies to T-Tar, but I believe, guys, what we can just do now is go into Booker T, who has been the MVP of this battle, in my opinion, just because of, like, what he can do against Johnny. And I think even with the Chopple Berry, T-Tar will just drop here. Even with the Chopple Berry, I have the game won with Absol in the back. There is nothing he can really do. The T-Tar's at -1, so that means that he also will lose to Iron Head from Skarm. Guys, we've got it. It's over. Your Tampa Bay Frogadiers are going to be Season 2 champs. Mach Punch goes off. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a crazy, crazy season. Tyranitar dies to Hitmontop. I really didn't expect him to bring a lot of the Mons that he brought, but we played around it so well. The fact that he didn't bring Drill, and I said it in the team builder, if he didn't bring Drill, he was going to lose to Hazards. And what happened? We were able to pressure his team a lot. The fact that he didn't bring Slowbro was the huge thing too, because that was a way of really stopping... that was the best way that Johnny had of, pardon me, stopping my Hitmontop from just being an absolute monster. But guys, we've done it. we are the Season 2 champions of the PMC. I'm taking the glasses off, I'm sorry. This has been awesome. People I want to thank, just JSpecs, the commissioner, for allowing me to be part of this league for the second season. Just all the other coaches. It's been a wild ride. I've had some ups and downs. We all have them, but it's been an awesome season. Thoroughly enjoyed being a part of it, and letting you guys know, I will be a part of it next season. So Season 3, your Tampa Bay Frogadiers are returning, and just letting you know now, I have secured the franchise of China, the Nido Queen, so she will be back with us for yet another season. I cannot wait for the Sun and Moon format. But basically what I'm going to do, guys, after this video is I'll probably do a season recap, just looking at how I went and the things I did right, but I can't believe it, we did it. We are Season 2 champions of the PMC. I can't believe it. I'm going to go talk to Johnny, I'm going to talk to the guys. This has been an awesome ride, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is TheVerd. I'm not going to do like the Miguel saying I'm always a Season 2 champion, but like, for now, I am the Season 2 champion of the Pokemon Masters Cup. I'm out this bitch.